Hello there, and welcome to a raid guide that we're going to do on Decidueye. I watched a few of the other raid guides on this, and a lot of people have been voicing that there is a lot of RNG that's in Decidueye. So, on a solo run, it is possible to win. It can be an easy damage roll, and sometimes it will go in your favor, and sometimes it will not. However, when you are playing by yourself, turn 5, Decidueye will reset everything. This method is almost foolproof. I'm going to show 3 scenarios, 2 that win, and 1 in the middle that would lose. However, depending on your moveset, it could result in a win. However, it will take longer. So both movesets in this are going to be the same, minus the fact that my son does not have Reflect. He is going to be using Metal Sound, however, Charge, and Electro Drift. Now, the rollout for this one that you want to do is first turn, the main Miraidon will put up Reflect, and then the second one will put up Metal Sound. As long as that hits, then both Miraidons next turn will use Metal Sound. With both Miraidons having a total of 3 Metal Sounds being hit and Reflect being out, Decidueye will do less. Unless you get unlucky with critical hits, you should be able to survive 6 low kicks. So overall, this can almost always be a win, and it should be a win on the first turn. However, what guarantees this is by having Life Orb. Life Orb will KO every single time, as long as you have 3 Metal Sounds set up. Mine is trained and maxed. My son's, however, is not. You will see the damage output on the second time for how much that it does when it is not, and it still almost is enough to win. However, in at number 2, the issue is that the terrain was changed. Outside of that, and just really bad RNG with critical hits, this is a no-lose opportunity. Each one takes a little over a minute, depending on how many you want to do. If you have 2 switches or a friend who wants to farm them with you, this is a really quick and easy way, and it will ensure that you win every single time. It's not RNG based with rolls or bad luck. So this next scenario is one that you could win as long as you had a different moveset. However, in most instances, it would not be worth it to continue this run because it will take much longer. Arbovilla, sorry, I can never say that Pokemon's name, ability will always set up grassy terrain. And in this situation, you do not want that. You need the electric train to be able to ensure the one-hit KO. Even with charge, even with a critical hit, even with Life Orb, it's not enough to knock it out. Like I did say, you could win in this situation. However, it's just going to take longer. But honestly, once he pulls out Sword Dance, it's just all downhill. It's really not worth it. But I'm going to go ahead and let this finish playing out, and then we'll see attempt number 3 to show you. In total, we did farm 7 of these. This was the only one that we failed, and the only reason that we failed it is because of Arbavola setting up this terrain. So this third one that I'm going to show you is one where my son does take it, and he actually ends up moving before me. Just the way that the turn worked out, I thought this would be a good example to show that the strategy that most people are using relies on rolls. Now, this situation is also a win. If we had Paralog Charge or just Electro Drift, we could continue to whittle away at it. But again, I use Reflect turn 1, my son uses Metal Sound turn 1, so now instead of turn 2, we're essentially at turn 1 because there's 2 of us. Next turn, we're both going to use Metal Sound. Of course, going to nullify stat and abilities because that's just how it goes. And then we're going to hit it with the Metal Sound from both of us charge, and then use Electro Drift. Now, like I said, his is not fully trained. So his Electro Drift is not able to kill. It does get a high roll, but it's still not enough. That is where the Life Orb comes in. So by having the Life Orb, you guarantee the KO with 3 metal sounds. You could potentially get it with 2 if you get a high roll, I believe, but I did not test that one myself. But with 3 metal sounds, it will always one hit KO. Now, the only downfall of this is that this does take 2 people or 2 switches. In this case, yes, you could also do this with 4 and get it done even quicker. But if you do have an extra switch or someone who wants to farm this is a way that you can guarantee to take it down and win every single time. As you can see, the roll was bad and it survived literally on a sliver. And in this case, I'll be able to just come in with the attack and knock it out. Hey there. So I hope that you enjoyed the video. As I said, was 3 different scenarios on how you can farm Decidueye. We did a total of 7 of these raids in roughly a half an hour. The middle one, which was the olive one, is the only one that we lost, and it's because of how little damage we did without electric terrain that I was not able to knock out Decidueye even with Life Orb. Now, how you could counter this would be for the second person's Miraidon to set up electric terrain again using electric terrain, and then your Electro Drift should be able to one-hit KO it. Now the issue is that when you set that up, Olive could just reset up the grassy terrain before you attack. This is a relatively easy solo, and it's even easier in a group, and it can be done even faster. This method that I showed you is nearly foolproof though, and it only takes 2 people, or if you have 2 switches, or hey, if your son or daughter plays, or your spouse plays, or even your partner plays. Have fun with it, farm them, get some items. But I mostly wanted to make this because I saw a lot of people who were saying on the bigger content creators that it was not as easy as what they were showing. And a lot of people felt like it was just being shown, oh hey, this is every single time you're winning, this is that. Before I did it this one, we lost 4 times in a row, 2 bad rolls. I literally got it down to maybe 90% one time. Swords Dance, Shackles knocked me out from half, and I'm just like, huh? And then one of the first ones that I saw mentioned setting up Reflect, and then doing 3 metal sounds, and then doing Charge, and then using Electro Drift. The issue with that one is that you kind of need Reflect to live, but Decidueye reset status changes after the 5th turn, so that does not work. Yeah, but I really hope that you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you can get some good knowledge out of it to farm Decidueye a little bit more before it leaves, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. This is Eon97.